Hi, I'm Allison Caldwell. I'm a Ruby ambassador with Plexus Worldwide, and I'm super excited to talk with you today about one of my very favorite products, ProBio 5. This probiotic is a life changer, and there's really not a way to downplay that at all. A little bit of background on me and where I come from in the world of probiotics and things like that. My youngest son, who's now 11, was diagnosed on the autism spectrum just after his 3rd birthday. He was nonverbal, and so we have spent the last 8 years healing him, working with doctors, going through gut health protocols, lots of probiotics, lots and lots of supplements, and most of them were dealing with treating candida yeast and things like nutrient absorption and stuff like that. So he was really having a lot of struggles in his gut, and we had made a lot of breakthroughs, we'd had a lot of successes. So when my friend Randy told me about this probiotic a year ago, I shared a little bit of my journey with her, and she says, "Oh, you would love my probiotics." And I went, "No, I don't think I would." Self-described supplement snob, I was not interested at all because we had worked with doctors and had had so much success with so many of their things that they had, given us to use. So when she told me about ProBio, I told her no a couple of times, and I saw on Facebook something about biofilm. That is what initially piqued my interest with this. Biofilm is something that I knew all about. Other biomed moms that I know are familiar with it, and our doctors, and that's it. Everybody else that I've ever mentioned biofilm to went, "Bio what? What is that?" Well, it is the protective covering on different organisms, kind of like an exoskeleton on a bug. It is a protective covering specifically on candida yeast for the purposes of what we're talking about right now anyway. We're going to discuss just that particular biofilm, but it's a protective covering, protein covering. And essentially what that does is when you're taking, for example, prescription antifungals or something along that lines to treat something in your body, the initial dose will kill some of the candida because it's a surprise. And candida is a living organism. It realizes something out there is trying to kill it, so it puts up a protective barrier, and it just sits there and waits. And when that medicine is no longer circulating in your system, it lets down its barrier and it picks right back up where it left off. So you made a little bit of headway, but not a whole lot, and now it's picking right back up and repairing anything that was damaged or whatever from before. So it's really, really hard to make headway when you're using things like that because they don't break through that biofilm. And that was something that we learned the hard way. We had a year and a half on prescription antifungals and antimicrobials, antibacterials, all those things. And we were having very, very little success, very little progress with him until our doctor, who was part of the MAPS Association, which is the Medical Academy of Pediatric Special Needs, fabulous association of doctors who are thinking outside the box. They are thinking about how to treat the body as a whole. So that was huge for us. Our doctor went to a conference, and they were talking about how the biofilm on candida, which is similar to Lyme disease, protects it from these types of things, and that we have to break through that biofilm in order to kill it. So they put us on enzymes, they put us on natural antifungals and high quality probiotics, and within 6 months I had a totally different kid. It was phenomenal. So coming from that background, when Randy said, "I'm gonna like this, from an MLM," and I thought, no. She mentioned biofilm though, and I went, wait a minute. So long story short, I decided to try them so that I could tell her no. I took them to my holistic doctor, and I said, "My friend wants me to try these, and I want you to tell me how to tell her no because I've run out of ways." And he said, "They're good, take them." So I did, and I was shocked. They worked. I immediately felt a difference. And part of that is because I was not as hydrated as I should have been. So I was kind of a little achy and a little tired. I was having a little bit of a detoxing reaction. But I'm very familiar with those from all the years of treating my son. So I knew exactly what it was. I drank some water. You can take an Epsom salt bath. It's great for those. For any kind of detoxing symptoms, it helps to pull all that out of your system. But I was amazed that actually worked. So I said, okay, all right, I want in. I want to know what's so different about these. And basically, I want to talk to you a little bit today. There are 4 different enzymes, but I want to highlight 2 of them. And I want to talk a little bit about specifically one of the strains of the probiotics in here, just to kind of give you an idea of why this is different than what you find on the shelf. It's different than what you've been using. It's different than what your doctor gives you, whatever. This is the only one. And I looked because I wanted to see if there was anything else that had chitosanase in it. Chitosanase is the enzyme in here that actually breaks through that biofilm. It is specifically designed to chew through that biofilm. That is its sole purpose. Now, I did take a little bit of notes because I wanted to get technical on some of this stuff today. So when you're breaking through that biofilm, then you can actually get to the candida itself to kill that overgrowth off. Candida is supposed to be in our bodies. It's designed to be there, but in very small quantities. And in today's world, especially in America, when we're eating high quantities of processed foods, we're taking medications, we're taking hormonal medications, you know, we're doing all of these things. We're carrying a toxin load that's just unheard of, and it affects your gut, and it creates an environment for yeast to overgrow. So what this is doing is putting it back in check for you so that you don't have that overgrowth. One of the other enzymes that I wanted to talk about today is serrapeptase. And that one is actually, it can be called like the super enzyme, a miracle enzyme, and that's not an understatement either. I was really, really interested in it. I'd heard some great things about serrapeptase, but I wanted to look some stuff up and give you some more detail. It was actually discovered in the intestines of silkworms, and it was designed to help them break through their cocoon as they're turning into a moth. So what scientists believe it's capable of doing is dissolving those dead tissues without impacting the live tissues, which is huge. There are 3 different ways that serrapeptase works in your body. Number 1, it thins the fluids that are associated with inflammation. So when you see before and afters and things like that of people that have been taking, especially the Plexus products, you will notice that, for example, my face, I always thought I was very, very puffy in my face, and I just thought that was what I looked like. Well, I was inflamed, and I didn't know until I got rid of that, and I was already eating really healthy. I was marathon training when I found out about Plexus, and I was eating great, I was working out, I was doing all the right things, but I was so inflamed. And so serrapeptase in this ProBio is one of the things that helped me with that a ton. The second way that serrapeptase works is it reduces pain by blocking the release of bradykinin. I believe that's how you say it. In damaged tissue. Bradykinin is a protein that's responsible for triggering a pain response. So if you are kind of getting rid of that trigger, then you don't have the kind of pain that you did before. So that explains why people also have a lot of relief with aches and pains when they start with ProBio as well. The third way that the serrapeptase works is it breaks down the fibrin, which is an important protein in the blood that's involved in coagulation and clotting and things like that. So it helps things move more smoothly. And what I thought was really cool is that it is currently being researched for its ability to break down arterial plaques. That would be phenomenal. I can't wait to see what that research turns up and what they see in there, because serrapeptase can break down so many things that are bad and doesn't seem to affect the good stuff. So I can't wait to see what it does with arterial plaque. So with all that breaking through and the enzymes are chewing through that stuff, we're getting into the actual candida. So then what happens? There is grapeseed extract in this as well, and the grapeseed extract is a fabulous antifungal. It's a natural antifungal, and it kills the candida overgrowth. There's also something in here called Saccharomyces. A lot of people look at this bottle and say, well, wait a minute, my friend told me that Plexus is killing off the yeast overgrowth, but this says contains yeast right here. What's up with that? Well, what's up with that is Saccharomyces is a good yeast. Candida is a bad yeast. So the Saccharomyces actually is beneficial for helping to chew up and get rid of that Candida overgrowth. It is phenomenal for getting rid of that. That's one of the many things that our doctors had put my son on, including all of these. He was on enzymes, he was on Saccharomyces, he was on grapeseed extract, all of those things to break through biofilm and kill the Candida overgrowth. So it is phenomenal for that. There are 5 total strains of probiotics in here. Saccharomyces is just one of them, but that's the one I wanted to touch on because I really wanted to cover what this does differently from other probiotics. This isn't your standard drugstore probiotic, which that might help you poop more regularly if that's really all you needed, but it's not actually getting rid of the stuff that's in there. If you think of a garden where you have a lot of weeds and you throw down a bunch of, well, let's say not a garden, okay, a lawn. If you throw down a bunch of grass seed and you have a bunch of weeds there, your grass seed's not going to grow all that well because you have a bunch of weeds there. This kind of weeds that for you. It takes all of that bad stuff. It takes care of that bad stuff and gets rid of it so that when you are putting down these 5 good strains, or maybe the strains in Vital Biome if you need some extra as well, but that's a whole different video. Those are phenomenal for reseeding. So this kind of roots up, gets rid of all of that stuff that's in there that doesn't need to be, and makes room for the good probiotics that you're taking to flourish and grow and populate in your gut so that you will be healthy. It improves your immunity. It improves just generally your digestion, your mood, everything. You just feel so much different with this probiotic than I ever have with anything else. I've tried every probiotic that we've given my son over the last 8 years, and I've never actually noticed a difference. And this one I did. So I would love to answer any more questions that you have about it. I hope this was informative and helpful for you. And I look forward to helping you. If you're interested in getting started on ProBio, please let me know, or let the person know that shared this video with you. And we thank you very much for trusting us to help you on this journey, and have a great day.